welcome to Would I Lie to You? I'm Paul Henry, and this is the show where we sort the fact from the fiction. Let's meet tonight's panellists. On Jesse Mulligan's team tonight, he's put Invercargill on the map just as the rest of the country was starting to use GPS. It's Tim Shadbolt. And if you don't know her name, you'll know her face, and if you don't know her face, you'll still enjoy looking at it a lot more than Tim's, Michelle Langston. All right, on John Bridges' team tonight, he's like the very famous in that he only has one name, but also so very unlike the famous in that hardly anyone knows it, Jono. And here to scour out the truth from the lies with a mixture of baking soda vinegar and chicken poo, it's the green goddess, Wendell Nissen. To our first round this evening, Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them. Now, to make things harder, as you might know, they have never seen the card before, so they have no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the truth from the lies, and we will start with Wendell.
Right, I am a master at folding fitted sheets and have taught classes on how to do it.
A master of folding fitted sheets. You'd look to me, Jesse, like the sort of person that would give fitted sheets a go and folding them.
When I was at university, I used a fitted sheet for a toga. That didn't really work out. But anyway, where was the class held that you taught?
Well, when I promote my books...
Oh, what book is that, Wendell?
I have several books. One called A Home Companion, one's called Mother... Anyway, when I often go on tours around the country promoting my... as does Mr Henry here, talking about, you know, chemical-free living and being a green goddess and...
I don't talk about those things.
The thing about if you can learn how to fold them properly, and then what you do then, once you've folded them, you put your two sheets together in the pillowcase that matches that set, right? And then when you put it in your... Thank you, lady in the red, agreeing with me. Then you put them in your linen cupboard and you've got your matching sheets all in the right pillowcase. So when you go, I'm going to have the white sheets with the broderie anglaise today. You grab that and you go. It's really easy.
You must have the tidiest linen cupboard in New Zealand. But the most boring life.
I can seriously say I am losing the will to live.
Can you explain briefly?
I think, Michelle, the answer to that is no.
The fitted sheet method, like how do you...
Okay.
What's the...
Briefly, all the curly, but the elastic bit falls in the middle, right? Naturally, if it's on its back, imagine the sheet, yeah. So you...
You're right, Paul.
One side, other side, right? In half. Like a sleeping bag, in half again, then boop, 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 done. Into your pillowcase.
All right, guys, what do you think?
Michelle?
I feel like it's a lie.
Well, I don't even want to think about my sheets, but I'd have to form a committee to look into it, I think. I'll need an environmental impact report, and I'll have to consult the iwi, but I think it probably is true, really, because it's an issue that a lot of people are affected by.
Thank you, Tim.
We're going to say it's true.
You heard them, Wendell. They say it's true.
It was a lie.
All right, Michelle, we'll come to you.
When I leave the hairdressers, I pick up all my own hair and take it with me.
Describe what happened the first time you went to a hairdresser and then you had to explain to the person cutting your hair that you were going to collect your own hair afterwards and take it home for a ritual.
That's actually why it started, because my first haircut, my mum took me, and I must have been, well, quite little. I had home haircuts prior to that, which weren't very good. And so then I went and Mum collected it to put in my book of Michelle's first haircut. Here it is, sticking in with sellotape.
The whole haircut was in the book.
Well, I was quite superstitious about it. I read a book when I was little. It was like a how you cast spells book, you know, like a picture book from school, where if you took someone's hair, you could use it to make a spell about them.
Because that's what hairdressers are always doing. As soon as you leave, they're sweeping it up and casting spells on you.
That's right.
Jono was really regretting that insult he gave to the hairdresser in his first haircut. Look like...
You can sell your hair, don't you, for all the hair pieces and things. Would you ever consider selling your hair?
No, I don't want my hair.
I'll buy it.
No.
We don't want to know what it is you'll do with that hair.
Well, you know, you can only sell it if you cut it off at the root and it was long. I mean, you can't sell like little unless someone wanted a beard.
All right, I think it's time, John, for you and your team to make a call.
People obviously collect here, but no, I think she's lying.
Yeah, I think she's lying as well. I don't think she's that obsessive compulsive.
I'm not going to overrule my team. We're going to say it's a lie.
They say it's a lie, Michelle.
It is a...
Yes, it's a lie. However, if you do have a large bag of human hair at home, I'm pretty sure Wendell's got a recipe for boiling it down and turning it into soap. Tim Shadbolt.
Almost every Australian builder has a Shadbolt in his toolkit, and it's named after me.
What is a Shadbolt?
Where you've got concrete, it's obviously related to concrete, where you've got a drill in and then you put in the splayed steel thing, which you can then screw into the bolts, the shad bolts they call them, and you can screw them into the concrete. So then if you want to put timber on it or anything like that. They say it was named after me, but it was, you know, I can say it was named after the Shadbolt family, that's all.
What's it called here, the same item?
Well, she-bolt, for some reason, it's called in New Zealand, so...
Is that to do with that bit?
You bloody vegetarians, you're always thinking about sex, aren't you? Well, it's when you want to join timber to concrete, so how else can you do it? You've got to drill a hole in the concrete, then you ram in the...
What do you think, Jono?
I think he's lying. They didn't lie yet. I don't. He wasn't with conviction.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go
However, he's
with you.
as cunning as a snake.
Yes, he's a politician.
I'm going to say it's a lie.
They say it's a lie, Tim.
It's a lie!
It's a lie, quite a good lie, but it was a lie. You will never see a tool with the name Shadbolt. Well, let me rephrase that. You'll never see a builder's tool with the name Shadbolt. At the end of that round, John's team are doing surprisingly well. It's 200 points to 80. Join us after the break when we'll be playing This Is Mine. Welcome back to Would I Lie to You? Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of Jesse's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection. It's up to John's team to spot who's telling the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome this week's special guest, Anita. Welcome, Anita. Now, Jesse, would you like to tell us who Anita is to you?
Yes, this is Anita. She taught me how to blow dry women's hair.
Tim.
This is Anita, and we bungee jumped together.
And Michelle.
This is Anita, and she made a butter sculpture for me for my 30th birthday.
OK, Jesse, we'll start with you. So, Anita taught you to blow dry women's hair. Why?
We were in a production together in Hamilton. It was called Girls on Top.
What was your role in Girls on Top?
Well, it was my first performance in a play outside school, and so I played the son of one of the girls, and the story was about these sort of plain housewife mums who got together. Yeah, they were quite plain in the first half of the play, John.
Yep.
But in the second part of the play, they come out and they're all glam.
Brilliant.
And we needed all hands on deck to sort of make them look glam.
So despite your starring role as the son of one of the plain women, you still mucked in at half-time with the hair drying.
Yeah, well, the problem was that it was a little theatre called Rivoli Theatre, and they stopped having breaks at half-time because they had a bit of a problem with some plays that the audience would leave if you gave them a chance.
They would leave Hamilton.
We had a fence around for that, but no, in the theatre, if the play wasn't very good, sometimes they would find that it would be quite depleted, so they had no half-time break. So whoever wrote the play thought, well, at half-time, you know, you'll have time to doll these women up. But in Hamilton, we didn't have that, so we had the cast and crew would all go in and help try and glam these women up.
Can you show us on Michelle's hair? How would you blow dry Michelle's hair? And in playing the part of the hairdryer, would you please use your hand?
Or Tim Shadbolt.
But do be very careful of that hair.
Yeah, and it is quite an intimate thing for a woman, her hair, John, so I'm not going to go
Diving in there.
no. You sort of pick it up, and then you get the hairdryer, and you go from the root to the tip, and you're trying to volumise it. So you sort of go root to tip, root to tip, root to tip.
Do you say this while you're doing it as well? You say that out loud? Root to tip.
At the beginning, I would say that to myself to remind myself, but after a while, like dancing, Jono, you don't have to count after a while, you just do it in your head.
Okay, so Michelle, Anita made a butter sculpture for your birthday party, is that right?
Yeah, my 30th birthday party.
What was it of?
My cat,
What's your cat called?
Zoe Glass.
Your cat has a last name.
Yes.
How did you meet Anita? How did you employ her?
I went into, the Valentine's restaurants. They often have butter sculptures. And there's one that I used to go past when I was getting coffee, and they had a fish on its tail. And it was really cool. And when they opened, I went in and said, who does those or where do you get them from? And they gave me Anita's number.
How long does a butter sculpture last for?
Well, my party was about 3 hours. It was like a lunch picnic, big
Right.
sort of elaborate picnic. But it was a bit melty about 90 minutes in, because my birthday's in January.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Tim. Tim, can you remind us what Anita was for you?
Anita was...
You'll just remember it because
Remember it from real life.
We bungee jumped together
Okay.
Timbo, where did you bungee jump?
out of a helicopter.
It just gets worse.
Out of a helicopter? Is this possible? Wouldn't there be some sort of rebound difficulty?
No,
Just
just put a rubber band around your foot,
Where was the helicopter flying over?
Well, I don't know if it was flying over anywhere, really, but
It was on the ground.
it was flying over Invercargill. It was flying over Invercargill.
Oh, he's changed his tune.
How did you end up there? How did this happen?
I think it was that AJ Hackett guy, and he was trying to expand his bungee jumping off bridges. So he thought, what I'll do is have heli bungee jumping and throw us out of a helicopter. But they mucked it up, really, didn't they, Anita? They got our weights wrong, and we smashed. I think Anita hit the roof of a nightclub. I smashed into a photographer, I think, didn't I? And I wrecked his $8,000 camera, so I had 7 stitches in my head after that.
Geez, you'd be unlucky as a photographer. You just out taking pictures of birds and so you look out and the shed bolts plummeting at you.
Oh, bloody shed bolt again!
Always out for a bit of publicity.
Okay, what do you think, Jono? Just telling the truth.
I think Michelle is.
You think she made a butter sculpture of Michelle's cat in January?
It's either that or Tim's convincing bungee jumping story. I'm going to go with the butter sculpture.
What do you think, Wendell?
I've been watching Anita through this whole thing because I've been watching for that kind of flicker of recognition, something that's nothing. Anita, nothing. Thanks a lot.
So maybe she is from Hamilton.
I'm going to go with Michelle.
Okay, well, we say it's Michelle.
All right, Anita, would you like to reveal your true identity?
My name is Anita, and I heli bungeed with Tim Sheffield.
Yes, the heli bungee turned out to be more dangerous than anyone thought. As you can see, Tim walked away from the jump horribly disfigured. Anita, thank you very much. And after that round, Jesse's team are embarrassingly ahead, 400 points to 140. Join us after the break for Quickfire. Welcome back to Would I Lie to You? Our final round's called Quickfire, where our panellists lie not only through their teeth but against the clock. And again, they don't know if they're about to read out a true fact about themselves or a made-up fact that they've never seen before in their lives. And we're starting with you, Jono.
I was a weightlifter.
Jono.
Why are you laughing?
Good reaction, Tim.
Well, I suppose in the sort of light neurotic division, he may have done. But how long ago?
It would have been 12 years ago now, and I was at school.
Can you explain or perhaps even demonstrate how the clean and jerk is performed?
I wonder if you'd like to come
Yeah, okay.
here, Jono.
Yeah, Jono!
So what you want to... Well, I'll go side on for the camera's benefit.
If you could.
So you want your back straight, obviously. And you're holding... You want these arms... There's 2 grooves in the bar.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's the snatch. Sorry, no, this is... Oh, here we go. That's clean and jerk. See, they're a bit closer than the snatch. And then you'll go... And this is where you're sort of struggling with the weight, Paul.
It's going to go.
And then you just want to... I forget what they call this part, but it's just a... And then you go on, right, you wipe your hands of the stuff and then you're
So,
off.
Jesse, has that allayed any fears it might be a lie?
It was a pretty impressive demonstration, Paul. I'm just wondering when you turned from weightlifter into skinny weakling.
What did you wear?
It's like a one-piece lycra, there's hot pants there, and then it comes up and it sort of straps over there.
Would the term unitard be a good description?
Unitard would be appropriate, yes.
Is it true unitard was also your nickname at high school?
Well, something tarred. Jesse, it's time for your team to establish which way you're going to go on this.
Tim, what do you think?
Well, I think I'd go for true, actually. Fine, not unsure, though.
Michelle?
Yeah, I'm inclined to think it's true just because it's so unlikely.
Well, it's pretty clear, Paul. We think it's true.
A unanimous decision, true.
It is true.
Yes, it is absolutely true. These days, the only weightlifting Jono does is the complaints that come in after every episode of his show. Wendell, your turn.
I have eaten roadkill pukeko casserole.
Does it look like she would do that?
I'm quite interested in what the pukeko tasted like. Is it a sort of a dark meat or a white meat?
It's a rich flavour.
So like duck or venison?
Actually, it would be like bad venison.
Sounds good. Bad venison's like good duck.
Well, you know, there's that there's that Bon Jovi song, Good Love is Like Bad Venison.
Yeah.
Bad venison is what I need. Paul, you live on a rural property. Have you ever had any problem with pukeko?
Yes. Pukekos are dreadful birds. They go in the ponds, they attack your flowers, but you only have to kill one, I've discovered. And
word gets around.
No, it does. Word gets around. And the others just leave.
Why don't they apply the same theory for the Occupy people?
Honestly, Jono, don't think I haven't suggested that to you.
Do you collect this roadkill yourself?
No, I didn't actually collect it.
Did you cook it yourself?
I didn't actually cook it.
Who did cook it and collect it?
My brother, who is a cordon bleu chef.
He was a cordon bleu chef. Didn't he realise that pukeko would be quite a lean meat and therefore not really stand up to the punishment of the slow cooking required for a casserole?
I will think you'd find that most cordon bleu chefs find that a challenge.
I think I've heard enough. I think it's a lie.
I've looked after pukekos. They're scrawny birds.
Yeah.
There's not a lot going on.
No, I've actually tried to eat pukeko and they're so tough, you wouldn't believe it. The
Did I
ARA, we killed a whole lot at Shakespeare Park and we had bird and forest on our bloody backs and everything. We had to because they were interfering with people's picnics and that, you know.
So let me get this right. In between negotiating with Bird and Forest, you were trying to eat the dead pukekos.
Not true. I reckon it's a lie.
We all think it's a lie, Paul.
Wendell, it's clear cut, unanimous. They think you're lying.
It is true.
What a star!
Very good, Wendell. Yes, it's absolutely true. She did eat roadkill casserole, or as they call it in Gore, casserole. Tim Shadbolt, your turn.
I used to sell chicken manure for a living.
When you were doing the concreting, did you
Oh, no,
have...
no,
Was there a sideline or what was the deal?
Heck no. When you're a concrete contractor, you're in the aristocracy, mate. You don't fiddle around with chicken poo. No, it was my first business. I was at high school and we wanted to make money, and you could get it free from the chicken. Oh, no, you'll hate a muesli-munching, yogurt-eating wool spinner like you. Will loathe this story because, of course, they're all caged chickens, but we didn't care.
Disgusting.
And you scrape the manure out from under their cages and then put it in bags and sold it.
How much did you sell it for?
Well, it all went wrong, actually. The first order we got for 10 bags, and we were so excited, you know, and the people weren't home, so we stacked it up on their porch, on their front porch, but then the rain came down and the bags burst and stained their carpet, and they tried to sue us, but we were only 16.
So if you were selling the chicken manure, what were your instructions? Could they put it straight on the garden?
Yeah, they could, but I think a lot of them probably mixed it in with other, you know, they do sort of mixtures, don't they, these home gardens?
I think it's clear, Wendell, that this chicken poo didn't come with any instructions.
This is why I asked the question. I'm trying to ascertain if he knows that you can't actually put it straight on the garden because it burns the
No, sadly though, Wendell, you're the only person here in this room that cares. All right, John, I think it's time to make a call.
Oh, it is time.
It is time to make a call.
Okay.
Why do you always go to him first?
I
Have you
don't know.
noticed that the whole show
I'm sorry.
you go to him?
I really am sorry.
And then you've never come to me first. So I'm
Sorry,
always
just
like,
a second. Note to self, never invite Wendell back.
And let's go back, Paul. Can you throw that to me again? Because that is fair. That is fair.
Yeah, no,
That
Wendell
is fair.
makes a good point, and it will be the last point she ever makes on this show. John, I think it's time to make a decision.
So, what do you think, Jono? I'm going to go with truth. You know more about chicken poo than
he's
anybody
lying.
here, so
I think he's
You think
lying.
he's lying? I think I'm going to have to bow to Wendell's greater knowledge of what comes out of the back end of a chicken and say that Tim is lying.
You heard it, Tim. They say you're lying.
I'm telling the truth.
Fantastic. Yes. Tim has a lot of experience selling manure, or as he calls it these days, promoting Invercargill.
See how the crowd turned on you?
Yeah, they do. You never say that in a room full of people from Invercargill, as I've obviously just done.
That's why I had to do a runner and go to Australia.
And that sound indicates the end of the show. And I can reveal that Jesse's team have won with a show-stopping 565 points. Of course, it's not just a team game, and my individual liar of the week this week is Tim Shadbolt, because he's great at making things up. However, that is much easier when you've completely lost touch with reality. Good night to you. Thanks, New Zealand On Air. Let's meet some more liars next week.